Hey guys, I just wanted to come back and say, I'm out here today. It's a really nice day in Michigan. My trip to Ghana was phenomenal, and I wanted to share a few things, helpful hints that I learned, and hopefully I can encourage someone else to visit. So, a few helpful hints. When I arrived in Ghana, I gave my last video regarding the visa process. I hope that helped. Um, but I'm going to give us a brief description of arriving in Ghana, what to expect when you go to the airport, and even when you come back home. So here we go. So arriving in the airport, when you touch down at the Accra airport, you're not going to go through the tunnel. The plane will not touch the terminal. It will actually stop on the runway. So you're going to get off on the runway, and you're going to walk down some stairs from the plane, and you're going to walk to the sidewalk onto the runway. So don't wear cute shoes. Bring some gym shoes, because if your carry-on luggage is heavy, just know you're going to be walking downstairs carrying your carry-on luggage. There's no roll in the bag. Because it's just steps, and they're steep, and you might trip. So don't wear cute shoes. Warning, warning, warning. Then when you get off onto the runway, then a shuttle bus will be there to take you to the actual terminal. So when you get to the terminal, you're going to be greeted by immigration, so that they'll check you in. And the process there, I won't be negative. It was doable. I was asked about my yellow fever card when I got ready to walk through to go into to leave the airport. They did stop me and ask me. I showed them my waiver, and I explained to them that my doctor had approved the waiver based on my egg allergy. So she looked over my paperwork and waved me on through. So yes, so that was my hint to you guys. So so when I got there, my hint as well is when the airport is extremely busy, there's people everywhere. What I quickly learned, so there's people everywhere in the airport. So make pre-arrangements before you go. So what I mean by that is try to get a driver, someone, or if you're trying to rent a car, utilize the driver that I had. So the company that I work for actually has an office there, and I was fortunate enough to have a Ghanaian that I could communicate with there, who referred Glory Be to God car rental service. So Ebenezer, who is the owner of the company, who the driver is, he's the driver. He picked me up, had a sign with my name, so it was very easy to recognize him when I walked through the doors, because it's very overwhelming, because there's people standing out there. They want to be helpful. They want to they have taxis or whatever. But if you watch other people's YouTube's videos regarding that's a whole, I won't be negative, but the point is, be prepared so you don't have to go through that haggling or deciding if it's the right price or whatever. So when I actually got off the plane, I still had my American money. So okay, what would I do? I had to exchange my money. So without my driver and without him being a Ghanaian, I would have went to the airport's exchange place, which again, there's no sign. Well, again, I won't be negative, but the point is, it would have been very difficult or challenging, and then I would have had the risk of someone taking advantage of my the fact that I'm a foreigner and I don't know any better. So again, pre-plan ahead. Make sure you have someone that you can reach out to beforehand. So again, I hired Ebenezer, Glory Be to God car rental. You can rent a car from him. He has several really nice luxury cars, small size cars to SUVs. that you can rent and drive around yourself. When I left the U.S., I got me a permit, an international driving permit to drive, because I assumed I was going to drive. I drive when I go to Europe or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to drive. No. There's no rules on Ghana's roads. So just be prepared to understand. People drive, and I'm talking about drive crazy. They don't care. Everybody blows their horn. There's no. So anyway, yeah, so rent a car at your own risk. But glory be to God, Carmelo and Ebenezer himself will take really good care of you. I paid him US dollars for his service, and pretty much he was my driver for the whole month that I was there. He catered to me and his wife. I hired her to help me tour Kumasi, because her family is a part of that kingdom, and so it was fortunate that I was able to connect with them. So again, I'm telling you guys, yeah, reach out to Glory Be to God Car Rental. He has a Facebook page or whatever, and he's on Instagram. His name is Ebenezer. So when I was there, again, I got off and I didn't know how to exchange my money. So Ebenezer, he took me to one of the other places that had a better exchange rate. So again, that's very helpful when you have someone that can actually point you in the right direction, so you're not getting your money ripped off. So because Ebenezer took me to the better exchange rate at the mall, but the exchange lady, the lady who worked in the office, she was going to take my money, and if Ebenezer was not there, she was giving me stacks of $5 Ghanaian dollar bills, and I didn't think anything of it. So the point is, I took $500 US and exchanged that money, and she was supposed to give me like 2,400 of their dollars back, but she had cut that in half. So Ebenezer, because he knew what I was supposed to get, and again, I should have educated myself on that before I went, but I did not. Shame on me. So again, that's a hint for you. Make sure you understand the currency exchange, so that you don't. There's an app as well to use for the to put on your phone for the currency exchange. I learned that later through my other guide that I hired, who is native born. But yeah, so once I got my money exchanged and Ebenezer helped fix the issue with her really trying to steal my money, I got my correct money back, and I lived off that $500 my entire month. $2,400 was really good money, and it allowed me to hire Rachel. It allowed me to, so I'm just saying, you don't need a lot of money to go to Ghana. The money exchange for the US dollar is horrific on their end, because but it's really good if you're a foreigner and you want to travel. I'll just say that much. So the other issue is, once you get your money exchanged and you go to whatever, you have the driver take you to your Airbnb or your hotel or whatever, you'll see the driving conditions. You'll understand how, if you can tolerate, you can get in an accident really quickly if you don't know how to, in my opinion, debo. That's what I call it. You got to debo the road, because people do not care. So if you're not aggressive, if you're not a debo driver, then you're going to get ran off the road quickly in Ghana. So I suggest you have a driver, and it's not that much. So and it'll make your trip more memorable, because the entire time Ebenezer was explaining to me the sights. He explained to me the monuments that we were passing by. He explained to me, him and Rachel both, they explained to me the culture while I was seeing certain things. Again, the women there, the entire country, they're extremely hard workers. So the women, they carry their goods and that they're selling, or the men too. They carry the things on their heads. while they're carrying something, the women have the babies on their backs. They're tied up so that they don't fall. I was in amazement, like our babies are spoiled in some stroller with lights and stuff, where these kids are literally on their mother's backs while they're selling stuff, while they're trying to make a living. Totally humbling to me. So I think everyone should go and witness this, so that you don't complain about the little small things that you don't think that you have in America, because the Ghanaian people really work for their money, and they own everything that they have. It's not so if you're selling something, you might work for somebody, but eventually you're still working for yourself. The houses that they have, they may have, it may be meager accommodations to us, but they own their stuff. They're not renting some slum. That is their house or their land. So that is the difference to me. The aggressive driving in the country, in terms of the reason why I wouldn't get a rental car, is because, again, there's no rules on the road, but there's no chaos. There's no fighting. They blow their horns. They might even, say a few words, but they don't fight and cuss people out. I didn't see any of that. Again, they blow their horns, but it's organized chaos. So I think they respect each other that much that they don't do that, which is a good thing. We need to learn a cue from that. You can agree to disagree without violence. So then what else did I learn? Going back to going to your hotel or whatever, so your driver can get you there safely, the right place. Unlike a Uber, or because Ghana has Uber, just understand that they do have Uber now, so you can utilize Uber, but there's so at your own risk. So you can go around in Uber. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's no street signs in Ghana. So the Uber driver might not know where you are. You're waiting for hours. They might even leave you because they have another fare that might be, So if you get a dedicated driver, in my opinion, it's not going to cost you that much more money just to have someone. You pick up the phone and say, hey, Ebenezer, can you take me so-and-so at 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock or whatever, and can you stay with me the whole day? You don't have to worry about getting So that's what I experienced, but you can do it your way. The other thing is, when you go and stay at an Airbnb compared to a hotel or a resort, just know most of the Airbnb, because a lot of the Airbnbs are very nice. They're in a very nice, I'll say this, you get what you pay for. That's it. You get what you pay for. So just understand, if your Airbnb is, $30 a night, then versus $100 a night, then you understand you get what you pay for. So the Airbnbs that I stayed in was not expensive, but they were very nice. So I'm just a little spoiled, so that's the only reason why I didn't stay longer. But they were tolerable. If you can, there's nothing wrong with it. I just live a different way, and I won't apologize for that. So but I had fun. I learned a lot. Both Airbnbs that I stayed in, one was in the Aburi Mountains. Breathtaking. I want to own property there, so that's my next little bucket list. The Aburi Mountains, if I'm saying it correctly, please don't shoot me for that. But the Aburi Mountains, the house, the girls that live there, really changed my life. So I have so many other things that I want to accomplish just because of that trip. So I will be back to see the girls. The Airbnb that I stayed in Kumasi, that was breathtaking. That house was wonderful. The owner, George, he was very accommodating. I wanted to interview him, but I never had that. I was just running, and he was running. But when I come back, George, I'm going to interview you. But I tried to shoot some video about his property. So please book his hotel when you go to Kumasi, when you want to see the Ashanti Kingdom. And also book Ebenezer and Rachel for your tour guides, because they'll just go with you. Rachel stayed at the hotel with me. I got her a room, and she got her, and she, you know, she got out with me and took me places and negotiated the prices that when I wanted to buy something, or um, the fact that when we got into some of the places, because I was with them, and they don't know that you're not Ghanaian unless you speak. They don't know you're just one. That's what made my trip so special, because I was just another black person. I wasn't I wasn't like how I'm viewed here. So in America, so I was just another black person to everyone. So I was able to get Ghanaian rates when we went to the museum. So I didn't have to pay the foreigner price. So going with somebody that's Ghanaian helped with the cost for certain things. So just understand, having that resource helps for your trip, especially if you're going solo. Like I said, or even if you're going with your family. Yeah, you can't trust everybody, but I definitely recommend Ebenezer and Rachel for your services in terms of tour guides, and also the premier guest house I stayed in Kumasi. Kofi, he's the tour guide for the Ashanti Kingdom, so he and Rachel both went with me horseback riding. We went to the mountains. I don't know the mountain name, but gorgeous, just breathtaking mountains. They have a plantation that they cut down actual cocoa, the things that for chocolate, and I got to see what cocoa was like, and the kids who live around the mountain, and they need books, and they want crayons and coloring books and pencils, and those are the things that they were asking me for. They wanted those things. They didn't ask for a video game, or they wanted books or some pencils, or they wanted something to write with. And so that's what my plan is. I want to go back and try to help that process, and take some stuff to those kids over there in the mountains. So that's where I went horseback riding. So there is a lot of need there, but it's not a handout. They don't have signs saying we'll work for food. No, they are working for their food. So just want to say that. So yeah, so the Airbnbs is a good choice. It's economical, but if you want to do a resort or a hotel, just know Ghana is extremely expensive. The hotels and the resorts is expensive because they know certain foreigners that come over there, they want to feel safe and secluded. I was at the Marriott, and because it's so overwhelming in terms of the people going to the central marketplace, it was so overwhelming to me, because again, people in Ghana, they're rude. They will walk over you. They don't say excuse me. They don't necessarily push you. There's no pushing or shoving. But when I tell you, if somebody steps in front of you, that's just that. You just let it go. So anyway, so yeah, so you have to get used to the hustle and bustle of their lifestyle. And if you cannot get used to that, don't complain that that's the way they live. So yeah, so you don't like it, then go back home. So that's how I see it. But at the same time, the foreigners who come there, they utilize the resorts and the hotel as a refuge. And I'm guilty of that, because yeah, I don't like the traffic, and I didn't like getting stepped over at the marketplace. So so yeah, so I stayed in a hotel, and I ate in a hotel. And because I was on vacation, the hotel allowed me to eat food that was familiar to me, and that I felt comfortable with. So I'm not a foodie. I don't really eat when I'm here at home. So I wasn't going to Ghana to try their food. That was not my vacation plan. I don't go places to try the food, because I'm not a foodie. So, but other people, oh, let's go say, no, I don't do that. So I really didn't eat any Ghanaian food, not anything except for fried yams on the bus. When Rachel got me fried yams, so they're French fries pretty much. So that's That's all. And yeah, so I was scared to eat the food because I didn't want to get sick. I got to come back and pay for this trip. I ain't had time to get sick. So I ate at the hotel and I stayed at the hotel. So again, my trip became a more expensive trip based on that, but it was worth it to me because I still got to go in and out and then come into the compound, as I say, that the foreigners can go into and still feel like they're at home, because the Marriott there is the Marriott here. So, and that's one thing I do like about the Marriott properties, is they kind of keep it uniformal, if that's a word, for the for all of their properties. So I do recommend the Marriott, and I'm still tired, guys. I'm still trying to get used to the time zone. So it's still early here in Michigan when I'm doing this tape. So excuse my raspy voice and my anyway. So I gotta go back to work next week, and I'm really not even thinking about it. I'm not even gonna check an email until the day I go back. So I'm still on vacation. So last but not least, what to expect. I think you should expect a really good time. This is not like you're going to Europe or you're going to one of the islands. But you can have all of those things there. So the difference is that you're surrounded by people who are just working and hustling and bustling all day long. So you're in a car, somebody's walking past you, they're standing there, they're selling whatever they want to see if you want it. So that's just what they do. But if you're going to Europe or whatever else, you can go to the beach, but in Ghana you can go to the beach too. So and beautiful beaches at that, breathtaking beaches at that. So the people who go to Ghana, who live in Ghana, they don't value the beaches because they don't have. Well, so the Ghanaian told me, he said, I said, why is the beaches? There's one beach it's like trashy. It's just, they haven't cleaned it up. It's just a mess. But the other beaches are nice. But he said, Yolanda, we gotta work. We don't have time to go swim. We don't. So I'm like, you're right. But yeah, so why foreigners, like, why don't you like the beach? Because they got time. They don't have time to go to swim. He was right. So yeah, just understand that the beaches are beautiful there. You can do the same thing. It's just you got coconut trees, mango trees, pineapple. You got at your fingertips in your backyard. Your whole backyard is filled with fruit. There's nobody hungry in Ghana. Nobody is hungry. They might be poor, but absolutely no one is hungry. Because they have fruit everywhere. They have everything. They have bush meat. And the people who saw my video about the bush meat, and Rachel getting bush meat for her family, the issue is I was reminded that people in America, and black people in particular, we eat, well, I don't, but my family eats pig guts, and they eat chitlins, and a rat I think it's a distant relative of a pig. So I don't eat pork, and I used to eat pork chops, and they were so good. Yeah. But anyway, but I don't eat pork anymore. But at the same time, if you can eat that, then don't judge people who say they eat bushmeat. I'm just saying. We all do different things. It's all the same, but just in a different way. Is what I'm saying. So, but yeah, get you a tour guide. That's a Ghanaian. Make sure you research what you're trying to do before you go. The daily life of the locals is pretty simple. They just work. They don't make a lot of money, and yeah, that's really sad part. And I won't even get into a political thing on this video, but yeah. The sites that I saw, so me being there for a month, I saw everything that I wanted to see. I only needed to see one of the slave dungeons. I didn't need to see multiple of them. They're all the same. How do you have a church in a slave dungeon? How is there a church in a slave dungeon? I'm just saying. But yeah, I won't. I'll leave my comment about church alone. In a slave dungeon. And so I saw the sites that I wanted to see, and yeah, the trip was yeah, life changing. And so I want to go back. I want to live there. I want to retire there. And I'm not only saying I wanna. I'm gonna. I'm going to retire there. I'm going to live there. I'm going to buy land there and a home there. So that this trip was just me sticking my toe in just to see if it was doable. One thing before I go is to say that I don't like the mentality of the country where there is a have and have not society. Clearly there is a have and have not society there. And that's the only thing that's worrying me about staying there, is because I don't want to be viewed as the have society looking down on the have-nots. So yeah, I have to clear my conscience about that. But at the same time, it is what it is. But yeah, that's my take on my trip in Ghana. And I hope you guys like my videos. And now it's back to reality, back to the grind. But I do have a different scenario about the returning back to my job. Seeing those people being entrepreneurs. The black people there own the gas stations. The black people there own banks. The black people own everything. There are outsiders who own, Shell gas station and the other big name companies that are there. But for the most part, everything there, those big homes that you guys saw, those are black people houses. The unfinished houses are still black people houses. They have to get up the money to continue to build their house. But that's what I like most about going there, is to see the schools are ran by black people. The billboards are beautiful black faces advertising whatever product. Yeah, so that's what got me. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And yeah, take your family to Ghana. If I was 20 years younger and my sons were younger, or if I didn't have any, I would definitely get away from this country, especially now. So like I said before, I'm trying to get my youngest son so he can get his life together, so I can move on with mine. So yeah, but Ghana is where I want to go. So I encourage everyone to live your dreams. Don't let anyone deter you, stop you from what you want to do. This is your one life. We only get one. And then you move on and you go past this place. But you've been blessed with this one life. Make it what you wanted to make it.